What is this? Nice comments exclusively on the Grinch Fan Cast. I wanted to bring that up because I tried to ruin your Christmas, but it came anyway. It came with bells and whistles, with hoodads and nice comments. And I just wanted to say, wow, like, I appreciate it, you know? You guys, we've created a nice community on this channel, and it just makes me smile, you know? Seeing that even when I do controversial fan casts like that, I considered it pretty controversial. I thought I was going to get some hate in that fan cast. It was all love down there, so far anyway. And I just wanted to say thank you guys for that. And I also wanted to say, it's interesting to me that such a huge percentage of the people who watch the videos here are unsubscribed, because I just love it so much if I could make 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. At least 900, right? And, you know, if everyone that was watching right now just went down there and subscribed before watching the rest of the video, then that would be taken care of pretty quickly, I think, because lots of people watch the fancast, so you might want to think about that. Anyway, today we've got another 5 fancast suggestions, and I'm just going to put them down in the comments there. You guys vote on ahead by commenting which one you want to see next in our Christmassy lineup, okay? Klaus, Arthur Christmas, The Santa Claus, Die Hard, or Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah. So vote which one of those you want to see next, and let's move on with this fancast already. Let's start with Hero Boy, okay? Now, Hero Boy is a dumb name. It's basically, there are, I mean, I want to say a strong, like, 4, 5 characters with actual names in this, you know? And it's just, wow. I never quite agreed with that as a storytelling technique for a kid's film, because I'm pretty sure, from what little I remember about this when I watched it as a kid, like, I thought back then it was just very confusing, because nobody had names. Hero Boy, I wanted to cast Roman Griffin Davis. Roman Griffin Davis. I always struggle saying his name. But I appreciate him a lot, from, like, Jojo Rabbit and other stuff. Like, that was such a good mix of playing this kiddie lead, but playing it with the kind of aplomb, you know, just with the experience of a much older character. And it wasn't a kiddie film either, which I found interesting. The Polar Express, a lot of just the way about it, the feel it has, doesn't particularly feel like a kiddie film to me. So I was like, well, maybe we just cast people who will make it feel like it's not, you know? Cast people who have starred in things that aren't generally directed entirely at kids, you know? I think that's the best way to go for all of the, you know, child actors we've got in this. So that's what I'm going to try for the majority of the roles. Next, Hero Girl then in turn is the girl he meets on the train, and then he tries to lose her ticket. He does lose her ticket, and then he thinks she's getting thrown off, so he runs up on top of the train to have a talk with the hobo, and then he runs past, and then he finds her, and then he helps her, he gives her back the ticket, but only after they, you know, crash on the ice, and it doesn't matter. I'm not explaining the story here, it's just, that is a weird sequence of events that takes up most of the runtime, really, and it didn't need to happen. So, I want Priah Ferguson to play Hero Girl, because I feel like Hero Girl, I feel like there wasn't, like, a huge amount of personality there, you know? Hero Boy kind of had this whole thing about not believing anymore and all that going on. She didn't have as much of a story, I felt, so I kind of would like it if she was a bit more, like, snippy or something like that. And Priah Ferguson in Stranger Things is great at that kind of role, you know? She was, like, she was kind, but she was also kind of, like, very, very talk-backy and stuff like that, you know, to just everyone around her, no matter what was going on. So I kind of thought that'd be good, and she's like 1 year older than Roman Griffin Davis, so they're kind of around, you know, they're 13, 14, both of them, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably as old as we can get away with casting them. Not really sure what age they're meant to be. Like, he's stopping believing in Christmas. You'd think he's like at least 11, right? I don't know. It's hard to tell with that form of animation. Next, there's more kids that are, you know, relatively important. We need to cast Know-It-All, and Know-It-All's, oh, that voice just grates on me the entire film. I hate him desperately. I'm not a fan. But he does kind of learn humility at the end. It's like, whatever, you know, at least he's getting better, but fuck him, you know. I want to cast Gregory Diaz IV. Wow. As Know-It-All. Because just, he played not this similarly annoying role, but definitely this kind of, like, nerdy, like, kind of, you know, kid role in Vampires vs. the Bronx, where he was very much the least assertive of their group, you know, as a character. So I kind of thought that'd be good, because Know-It-All, he is assertive in his own way, but, like, he's very much not the one who's going to step out on top of the train to save everybody or anything like that. You know, he just kind of sneaks around. He is a prick. God, he annoys me. But Gregory Diaz IV would be good at that kind of thing, you know. And he is a bit older than them, and I feel like Know-It-All can be cast a bit older. I feel like you can get away with that. Just the nature of his role, I feel like it's okay. Next, Billy the Lonely Boy. That's a sad character description, Jesus. I kind of feel for Billy. He has this whole thing going on where he's sad and he looks sad. And I kind of thought, well, it's kind of like something like, you know, Georgie in It. Or I cast Jackson Robert Scott a fair few times in different fan casts throughout my time here on YouTube. But I mean, he'd be good at that kind of role. He's like 12 now, so he's a bit younger than them, but not too much younger. He can play good roles in these kind of big actiony things. Not just it. He did a TV show recently called Lock and Key. And I didn't love the show, but I thought he was very good in it again, you know. And that is more showing off his actual acting abilities as opposed to just his ability to stand there in a trench coat looking scary. So that was good. Next. Sister Sarah's not an important role. She's in bed at the start, and then she comes and wakes him up at the end. Like, yeah, I think I'm not even sure if she has a line. Oh no, she does have a line at the start, I think, but like one line before the last 5 minutes. So I'm going to cast Violet McGraw. She's been in a couple things. She's cute, she's adorable, she's younger than any of them, really. And that's that's the only criteria. You know, I wasn't even going to cast Sister Sarah, but then I saw her name pop up again, and I was like, yeah, okay, that'll do. May as well, right? Next, Smokey and Steamer. Smokey and Steamer. Smokey and Steamer. They're just fun, comedic bit characters. You know, they're the engineers. They're running about in that cabin while everyone's like standing on the front of the train going, "Oh Jesus!" But they're just funny bit characters. I'm gonna cast Simon Pegg and Nick Frost as a duo, no question. Nobody better for these kind of roles, you know. And they're just great, and they just make these comedic bit characters great, better than in the original. I'm just trying to cast everything better than the original, let's be honest here. Next, well, we're going to cast Hero Boy's mother. Random choice to throw in here, but you'll see why in a moment. Basically, I kind of thought, you know, you just, again, there's a couple lines at the start, there's a couple lines at the end. She's not in the rest of the film, but it'd be nice to have somebody who just is this motherly figure naturally on screen. I thought Winona Ryder, partly because I'd already been looking at the Stranger Things cast when I cast Priah Ferguson, but Winona Ryder is just... because of Stranger Things. Entirely because of Stranger Things. She is, you look at her now and you think, oh yes, that is a mother. That is a mother. She seems like a mother. And, you know, that's exactly what I went looking for, so that's perfect. Next. Okay, so... conductor / narrator / Santa / hobo / father. Yeah. You could cast them as different people, but think about it this way, right? I don't know. I feel like as much as I don't really love The Polar Express as a film myself, I feel like a lot of the charm of it is that Tom Hanks is all of these reassuring fatherly type figures to Hero Boy, including his father, you know? So I didn't want to cast the father separately. The conductor is the main one, you know? You go in thinking, we've got to cast the conductor. Santa, yeah, I mean... Santa and the conductor don't really like even interact much or anything like that. You know, none of them do. The hobo doesn't interact with the conductor. He doesn't interact with Santa, and the narrator. You just may as well cast the same person as the narrator. I just feel like they can all quite easily be played by the same person. You know, they all look so different that the person will be dressed up so differently for all of them. I don't feel like it's really a problem to do them all as the same person. So I have cast them all as the same person. All 5 of the roles. It's Bryan Cranston. It's Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston isn't much younger than Tom Hanks. But the thing is, like, Tom Hanks could do this role again. All of these roles again. You know, he's not too old for that, really. He wouldn't really. He does look a bit older now than the conductor should probably look. Maybe Bryan Cranston does as well, but I don't think it's hard to make him dress up like all of those, you know? Basically, I've cast Bryan Cranston as an alternative. Tom Hanks could totally still do this, but I like to cast somebody else. Just new and fresh. Bryan Cranston's like 64, he's not new and fresh. They would have to make him look a bit younger, certainly, to play the father. You know, he's like 15 years older than Winona Ryder. It's unlikely that he's, you know, at 64 had, you know, Sister Sarah's only like 6 or 7, I think, so it's unlikely that he would be 64, but it's so easy to make him look 10 years younger. Bryan Cranston doesn't really look 64. He's fantastic, you know, he's fantastic, he's brilliant. He's got the kind of same... He would even find it easier, I think, than Tom Hanks to have that, like, strict, like, voice, I know, as the conductor and stuff. But he's also so good at playing these heartwarming characters like Santa, and I feel like just the very dramatic, serious different kind of cookie roles, you know, like the hobo. That's the kind of three main facets of that, because the father's an easy role for anyone to play, and the narrator, I mean, anyone again can do the narration, you know. But I feel like Bryan Cranston would be great at all three of the main faces of this kind of character, many characters that Tom Hanks did in the original. And I'd love to see him do that. I think he'd be fantastic at it, you know. So would Tom Hanks again, but you get it. And that's all for this one, folks. Do like, comment, and subscribe. If I make 900 subscribers before Christmas, then happiness. I don't know what I can do for you guys. Whatever you want, you just subscribe, and then you leave down in the comments what you want to see on the channel for your subscription. I will just get on it.